Very soon, I will be retiring peacefully to start working as a social entrepreneur. Social entrepreneurship is an approach by individuals, groups, startup companies, or entrepreneurs in which they develop, fund, and implement solutions to social, cultural, or environmental issues.
Your teacher Michael Aindera from Nairobi, Kenya.
Jina langu ni Beatrice Dube, mwalimu mwenza wa Bwana Michael Aindera, na nina furaha sana kujitolea kama mmoja wa walimu katika mradi huu wa Kiswahili tekelezi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pius. Can everybody hear me?
Yes,
I hope you can hear me. So, my name is Collins Otieno Sagege from Rongo Sub-County in Migori County, that is in Nyanza region. Currently, I teach biology and agriculture at St. Mary Goretti Dede Girls, that is in Awendo Sub-County, Migori County. Welcome on board. I'm seeing most schools here. We want to thank you for taking time and attending this lesson. I can see students from Kenyatta Girls. Wave to me, students from Kenyatta Girls. I can see students from Jamhuri Secondary. Wave to me. I can see students from Nile Road Special School. Kindly wave. Thank you. So after that introduction, I wish to invite you to today's virtual lesson, and we are going to interact. Feel free if there is anything that you needed, maybe to get from your neighbor or material that you may need. You may feel free to raise up your hand, then we'll be able to ensure that you feel part and parcel and actively participate in this lesson. So next, I wish to share with you my screen. I don't know whether you are able to see my screen. If you're able to see my screen. Yeah, I'm seeing reactions that you're able to see my screen. So I wish to share it again once more. Are you able to see my screen?
Mr. Collins?
Yes, please.
Can you unshare, please? I want to take a screenshot of that sentence.
Okay. I stop share.
Yeah, stop sharing. Then I'll tell you where to share again.
Okay.
And what I'm doing now, I'm modeling it for the administrators.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm modeling it for the administrator. This is what you're supposed to do. So you go snipping tool, and then I'm interested on the students. Oh, let me, hold on. Hold on, Mr. Collins. It's taking long. Yes, I'm just about to do it. And I don't want to do it when my image is not there. Okay. Let me put on my image. My image is now there. Gone back to the house. I'm not on the street anymore. So that's the background. So you come here. Snipping tool. And I snip it. Yeah, I snip it nicely. This is very good. I have Kimushu Secondary School. Please put on your camera because I'm going to capture you without a camera. And that's not going to be very good on your rating. We are going to rate all schools. So this is very good now. Mr. Collins, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much once again, Mr. Pius. So after that housekeeping, I wish to continue. So once again, just to confirm that you are with me, Kenyatta Girls, may I see you ever once more? Thank you. Jamhuri Secondary, may I see you wave once more? Great. Ngoleni Secondary School, may I see you wave once more? Thank you. And any other school on board, we wish to welcome you once more. Allow me share my screen. So I hope you're able to see my screen. Great. So as you can see on the screen, we have the Kiswati Digital Academy, and our motto is many schools, one digital academy. And for today, we have Form 2 biology virtual lesson. As at the hour we are speaking, and that is going to be taken through. Your teacher of the day, who is going to guide you through what we are going to learn, is Mr. Collins Sagege, like I mentioned earlier. And the date of today is October, that is 6th of October, 2025. So, like I said, we are going to handle biology today. And our topic for today is excretion and homeostasis. And the subtopic we are going to learn about is excretion in plants. Now, my dear students, the lessons objectives that we have today is that by the end of our lesson, this virtual lesson that we are having, you as the learner should be able to, 1, explain the meaning of excretion in plants. Number 2, by the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify the waste products and their sources. And number 3, should be able to describe the methods of excretion in different types of plants. So just to begin, like I said, we are going to talk about excretion in plants. I have posted a question there that may make us think through so that at least we know what you're going to learn about. Can somebody just come to the screen and share with me what, like that question I posted there, what do plants do with waste products? What do plants do with waste products? So our moderator will be able to guide. If you have a suggestion to make, you just come to the screen, and then once you carry your hand, the moderator will be able to guide so that we see you. I'll stop sharing as we think through what do plants do with waste products. Can I get a student attempting the question? What do plants do with waste products? You just come to the camera where you are, whether Kenyatta Girls, Jamhuri Secondary, Ngoleni, and then you carry up your hand. Then from there, our moderator Levi will be able to unmute your camera from your school, and then you give a suggestion. Welcome. Ngoleni Secondary, kindly unmute them so that we can get response from them. What do plants do with their wastes?
Andrew Musioki from Ngoleni.
What do plants do with their waste?
They separate and eliminate during metabolic processes.
Very good. Can we just clap for Musioki? They separate and eliminate their waste. Very good. Let us have a response and another attempt from any of the school. Jamhuri. We can also react by clapping on our chat. There's a reaction where you can clap. And for the students, we can just clap on the background. Yes, another attempt from Jamhuri. So Jamhuri School. What do plants do with their waste? Kenyatta?
My name is Lucia Teno. Plants reuse their waste products in their body.
Okay, Lucy has said that plants reuse their waste products in their body. That's good. And then I have the final reaction from Nile Road Academy. Can I get a reaction from a student? What do plants do with their waste? Did I see Nile Road? Okay, as we wait for the others, we'll be able to make sure that we give you time to interact. From the various suggestions that we've got from students, one from Ngoleni and another one from Kenyatta Girls, we have heard them say that plants normally, like from Ngoleni, we were told that plants normally eliminate their waste. And then Kenyatta Girls, we heard that plants normally reuse their waste. So when you look at that, we are saying it is important for us to separate the two so that we know what is the meaning of excretion in plants. And then thereafter, we'll come to the various waste that normally the plants remove, and then we'll be able to look at the various methods of removal of those plants. Now, from the suggestions that we've got, the very wonderful suggestions that we've got, normally when you talk about excretion in plants, it simply means it is a process by which plants normally eliminate their wastes. Their waste can be in excess, or they are waste that if allowed to accumulate in the plants for long, if they accumulate for long in the plant, they may reach a level that they become toxic. So therefore, plants normally eliminate, they separate and eliminate the waste that they have. That could be in excess or that could be harmful. And why do they do this? The plants do this so that they can be able to ensure that their internal environment is maintained constant, to ensure a constant internal environment, and also to ensure that it ensures the overall health of the plant. So we will continue from there and share the screen just on what we are talking about. Allow me once again, share the screen. Okay. So just like I'd mentioned, we are saying that when we talk about excretion, so you can see from the screen that excretion is the process by which plants eliminate waste products, which could be harmful or in excess. And what is the significance, or how is that important? We are saying this is important because it will ensure that the internal environment of the plants remains stable and remains healthy for the other physiological functions that ensure that the plant grows as it should. Now, I wish to ask the next question. What are some of the wastes that plants normally excrete? Having learned that excretion is the process by which plants eliminate waste products that are harmful or in excess, what are these wastes? Can some students volunteer and suggest for us the wastes that are normally eliminated by the plants?
My name is Masi Musioka from TUS. The answer is carbon dioxide.
Hello, Madam
Yes.
Mwere Cynthia from Secondary, Assistant Class Teacher, Form 2.
Introduce the student.
I'm Michelle Dunge from Form 2. And the answer is nitrogenous waste, mineral salts, and excess water.
Pardon, Ndunge?
Nitrogenous waste, mineral salts, and excess water.
Okay, we've got a suggestion from Ndunge talking about nitrogenous waste, mineral salts, and excess water. Good. As I'll be talking about them, you'll be able to identify so that we see which are waste from plants and which are waste that could be from animals based on their metabolic activities. Nduru Mix is ready. Nduru Mixed, let us unmute the teacher from Nduru Mix, unmute, then introduce yourself, and then introduce the student. Nduru Mixed. You are already unmuted. Please proceed, introduce yourself, then you introduce the student to respond to my question.
I'm Vincent Amolo. I'm the assistant teacher in biology. Say his name.
My name is Stephens, and I have the answer for the question. The metabolic that is stored is tannin.
Yes, maybe let me ask the question for purposes of clarity. You are just naming the metabolic waste that plants normally excrete. Just naming or listing them, the types of metabolic waste that plants normally excrete.
Tannins.
One is?
Tannins.
Tannins,
Resins.
Resins, good for trial, tannins and resins. Thanks. Let us continue because of the interest of time. I want to let the students know that we have various metabolic waste that plants normally release, and there are those ones that they also store in their bodies that are having some economic importance. So now, just to answer the question that we talked about, let us see and evaluate ourselves whether we've got some waste there. Now, I'll share the screen once again, then we'll be able to continue. Now, after having learned about the meaning of excretion, let us now see the various, I hope you're able to see the screen, then we'll be able to see the various types of waste that plants normally excrete. Once we have oxygen, oxygen, as we are all aware, we know that normally we have a process that takes place in plants that is known as photosynthesis. So after the process of photosynthesis, the plants normally use carbon dioxide for that process, and then they release the waste that is oxygen as a byproduct. One of the students has already mentioned that they reuse. So we are saying if the oxygen is a waste product that is released from the process of photosynthesis, then we have the second waste, which is known as carbon dioxide. And we are saying, like we are talking about oxygen, once it is released from the process of photosynthesis, then the plants will be able to use oxygen for the process of respiration. That means when they are breaking down the foods that they have in their bodies chemically to release for them energy. At the end of that process, there is a waste product that is being released because they release them from various biological functions that take place in them. So at the end of respiration, the waste that is being released is carbon dioxide. And then we also have other waste that the plants normally release, for example, minerals, salts, and we also have those ways that we are talking about. It will come a time when we'll be able to talk about them at another time. When you're talking about the economic importance of the waste, like you realize some people mentioned tannins, resins, and the likes. But for today, we are talking about oxygen, we are talking about carbon dioxide, we are talking about minerals, and we are talking about salts. let's continue and see how I've said and mentioned a bit of the processes through which these wastes are generated. And once these wastes are generated, like I said, the plants normally, there is also excess water that is also coming up as a result of the end product of respiration. Then we have now these wastes that are there in the plants. We are saying plants do not really allow them to accumulate for long at a certain point, or they should not be in excess. Some of the waste may be harmful. So what happens? The plants have various mechanisms through which they are able to eliminate this waste. That is what is going to inform our next discussion. So let us see the various methods through which plants are able to excrete the waste. Now, these are the various methods through which plants are able to excrete their waste. Methods of excretion in plants. One is by way of diffusion, and we are saying diffusion enables the plants to eliminate waste products that are in gaseous form. For example, carbon dioxide that we had mentioned, and oxygen. So we are saying this gaseous waste that are in gaseous form, the carbon dioxide and oxygen, they are normally being eliminated by plants easily through those openings that are found on the plants, like for example, the stomata that is found on the leaf, could be also having the cuticles, could be also having some kind of loose cells that are found on the stems that are known as lenticels. So the first method of excretion is known as diffusion. And for us to define diffusion, we are saying it is the elimination of waste products in gaseous form, such as carbon dioxide and oxygen through lenticels, cuticles, and or stomata. Then the next, or the second method through which plants excrete the waste is by way of transpiration. And transpiration, as you are aware, we know that it is the process by which plants get rid of excess water in form of water vapor, that is through the stomata. Then we also have the third method through which plants excrete their waste, that is known as guttation. Others will call it guttation, others will call it guttation. And we are saying what is important as we are talking about this in biology, we should really pay attention and be keen on the spelling. So as we normally take note and learn about them, please at any time make sure we are keen on the spelling. So the third method of excretion in plants is guttation. And what is guttation? Guttation is the loss of water and dissolved mineral salts in form of droplets. And that plants normally achieve that by way of special structures. Those plants that release waste through guttation, they normally have a special structure that is known as hydatodes. Hydatodes are those special structures that will ensure that those plants lose water and dissolved mineral salts in form of droplets. So when you are supposed to define guttation, you simply say it is the loss of water and dissolved mineral salts in form of droplets through hydatodes. Then the fourth method through which plants excrete their waste is exudation. Exudation is E-X-U-D-A-T-I-O-N, exudation. And what is exudation? Exudation is the release of some fluids, such as resins and salts, from plants at a slower rate. So you will find that sometimes at the back of trees and something like that, you may find that there are some deposits. I know you've interacted with trees around you and in your environment, and sometimes you find that as you look at the back of a tree, there are some deposits like the gums, something if you pull, it is gummy-like, and that is, it pulls, you know, when you pull it, it is gummy-like, it's like a chewing gum at the back of the tree. That waste was not just released at once. It was released as fluids, that is at a slower rate, and with time it accumulates and settles at the back of the tree. So when you're supposed to define exudation, you simply say it is the release of some fluids such as resins and salts from the plants at a slow rate. Right, then the fifth method by which plants excrete is deposition. And sometimes we talk about deposition, others will refer to it as storage. And what does it mean? It means that some wastes that are in plants are stored in permanent tissues. There are certain tissues in the plants or the heartwood. And the plants will store this in non-toxic form. And the non-toxic form in which they store them do not really interfere with the plant processes. So that is a way in which they also excrete that waste. So they store them in those permanent tissues or heartwood for a period until when it is convenient to release them. And for example, I've given an example there, like when you're talking about deposition or storage, others will talk of storage in vacuoles, just to make it specific. And when we talk about storage in vacuoles, we are saying you could see some plants, like for example, those desert plants in the desert, they could store some excess salts or mineral salts that are there in their bodies in the vacuoles. And as you are aware in Form 1, there are certain types of vacuoles that we talked about. Remember, we talked about the subvacuole, we talked about the contractile vacuole, we talked about the food vacuole. So we are interested on the subvacuole here, and we are saying in the subvacuole there, when you normally cut a plant, whatever oozes is the sap. So in it is stored in the subvacuole. So what are we saying here? When we talk about deposition or storage, we are saying an example is storage in the vacuole, where some desert plants store excess salts and minerals in vacuoles. And they do this until the way they can be safely excreted, meaning they store this waste until the time when this waste can be safely excreted. And then we have another method that is known as tissue or organ fall. Tissue or organ fall. So we are saying when you talk about plants, normally we have various types of organs in plants, as you are all aware about plants, yes? We have various organs in plants. And just quickly, before I could proceed, I wish that maybe one or two of you, may I get one student just naming for me 3 plant organs, then we'll be able to add up and continue from there. 3 plant organs, 3 plant organs, 3 plant organs. Anybody ready? Then we continue. 3 plant organs. Now we'll stop sharing. Then somebody comes to the screen and you tell us the 3 plant organs that you know. 3 plant organs. Yes. Can I see a hand? Can I see a hand? Can I see a hand? 3 plant organs? 3 plant organs? Any 3 plant organs or any 3 organs in plants? Well, the appropriate way of putting it is 3 plant organs. Any 3 plant organs? Oh, then could I get somebody who can at least get 2 plant organs? Kagonya?
My name is Gladys again.
Yes.
The plant organ is number 1 is tomato.
Number 1?
I know one, tomato. Tomato.
So, just to go to the exit ticket now. The students, hope I'm sharing the screen. I was talking about tissue organ, and we are saying when they fall, the organs that we are interested about are the roots, the leaves, the flowers, and the seeds. They could be also, such as you were mentioning, the stomata. Those are used for releasing the gaseous forms through transpiration. But when the tissues, like the organs that we're talking about here, the tissues we're talking about here, the fruits, the seeds, and the leaves. So when they fall, they go with the waste that was stored in them. So when, for example, a leaf falls, when the plant sheds its leaf, it will be going with the, it will be shedding off the excess mineral salts that were stored in it and salts, and that is called leaf abscission. I wish that you look at some of them there, finally, so you can see like A, that is the illustration in A. A there illustrates the guttation I was talking about, which we are talking about the release of waste products in form of the excess water in form of water droplets that are slowed through hydrothods. Then B is transpiration. That is when they occur through the stomata. You can see some tiny holes there. There are certain tiny holes. You could see this one here, releasing water to the atmosphere. Guttation, you can see water released here in form of water droplets. Then we have C, it is illustrating the leaf fall. When a leaf falls from this part and there were any excess mineral salts or excess salts that are stored in it, it goes with the waste. Then when you talk about D here, D here is illustrating for us, for example, what I was talking about, exudation. That is when the waste are released at a slow rate. And you can see here over time, the gums have been released and they have collected here. So that is illustrating exudation. And then very fast, quickly, I want to give the ticket here. So that is the exit ticket from our lesson that we've been able to have. You could be able to interact with the teacher because of time, so that you can be able to write down one new thing you have learned about plant excretion from today's lesson. So please note it and share with your teacher, and then we will be meeting. We'll be able to see what you've captured from your various schools. Write down one new thing that you've learned about plant excretion from today's lesson, and then we'll be able to pick that before we wind up. And then finally, I wish to say that from Kiswati Digital Academy, we thank you for attending and actively participating in our today's virtual Form 2 virtual biology lesson. Enjoy your day.
The Kiswati Digital Academy, founded by Pius Odhiambo, is a groundbreaking digital platform aimed at fostering the African Renaissance in the education sector. Specifically tailored for Kenya, the Academy addresses critical challenges in the implementation of the competency-based curriculum CBC for grades 7 through 12 in both junior and secondary schools. Key issues it seeks to resolve include: 1. Access to educational materials. Many students lack textbooks in certain thematic areas, and where available, these resources are often prohibitively expensive. School calendar disruptions. Unforeseen events such as illnesses, pandemics, for example the COVID-19, school strikes, and natural disasters like floods frequently disrupt the academic calendar. 3. Data-driven decision-making. There is a notable absence of reliable online attendance and learning data, which is crucial for informed decision-making in curriculum implementation. Pius Odhiambo, the visionary behind Kiswati, is a trained science teacher and an award-winning data scientist, a philanthropist based in the Washington, D.C., United States of America. His contributions have earned him a place on the Marquis Who Is Who in America, highlighting his international recognition and impact.
Very soon, I will be retiring peacefully to start working as a social entrepreneur. Social entrepreneurship is an approach by individuals, groups, startup companies, or entrepreneurs in which they develop, fund, and implement solutions to social, cultural, or environmental issues.
The Kiswati Digital Academy is structured around 3 course components. Digital library. This will provide students and teachers with access to a vast array of digital textbooks and educational resources online, ensuring that learning materials are both accessible and affordable. 2. Learning management system LMS. This system will enable teachers to conduct remote lessons and allow school principals to recruit emergency or substitute teachers from a distance. It will also facilitate continuous learning for students regardless of physical location. 3. Scholarship system. This component will offer financial support to deserving students, ensuring that economic barriers do not hinder access to quality education. By leveraging these components, Kiswati Digital Academy aims to create a resilient and flexible educational environment. Students will have uninterrupted access to digital textbooks and teachers, while educators will be equipped with the tools needed for effective and remote teaching. This initiative not only addresses immediate educational challenges, but also lays the foundation for a more robust and adaptable education system in Kenya, capable of withstanding future disruptions and fostering long-term academic success.